Lagos, Ogun State, and other parts of the country. It is also a session for the strategic management discourse, which is currently focused on the COVID-19 pandemic. We first begin by telling you that our regular guest, Mr. John Wese, a strategic management consultant, is bereaved and will not be featuring today. WebTV condoles with Mr. Wese and his family over the death of his father, and we ask that the Lord will give him the fortitude to bear the loss during this period. For the current COVID-19 update in Nigeria, the confirmed cases remain 442, with 13 deaths and 152 people discharged. We now bring you the developing stories for this afternoon. In Brazil, President Jair Bolsonaro of Brazil has fired his health minister, Luiz Henrique Mandetta, after a public feud over the nation's coronavirus response. President Bolsonaro, a right-wing populist, has repeatedly downplayed the threat of the virus in favor of supporting the economy, referring to the deadly disease as little flu, and branding the actions of governors introducing lockdown measures as criminal. Dr. Mandetta has been replaced by oncologist Dr. Nelson Tech. The COVID-19 pandemic has claimed the lives of almost 2,000 people and infected more than 30,000 in the country. Brazil is one of Latin America's leading economies and is home to one of the biggest rainforests, the Amazon. It is believed that President Bolsonaro, like his American counterpart, President Donald Trump, are prioritizing the economy over public health. In Denmark, Financial Times report shows that the country is emerging the first European nation to reopen its primary schools and kindergarten this week after a coronavirus lockdown, in a move likely to be heavily scrutinized across the continent as other countries examine how and when to lift restrictions. This decision was taken after what Mr. Mette Frederiksen, the Prime Minister, called surprising success of his lockdown, with daily deaths declining after reaching a peak 2 weeks ago. According to The Economist magazine, many businesses have faced their sternest tests in the past few months dealing with the pandemic, and few have anticipated. Managers have been forced to make crucial decisions under severe pressure for a sense of how some of them fared. Arthur De Little, a firm of management consultants, surveyed 25 chairmen and chief executives of telecoms, transport and utilities firms in Hong Kong, Singapore and Italy, three of the earliest places to be affected by the virus. The feedback from the survey showed that managers are facing tough calls and are having to make key decisions in a crisis management mode, which will have wide implications on the sustainability of their operations and respective firms. The work-from-home experience is also a new opportunity for human resources departments across companies to evaluate how they can develop an innovative workforce management system during disasters or health epidemics. The National Center for Disease Control has rolled out a 32-page document on its national strategy to scale up access to coronavirus disease testing in Nigeria. It has 5 key goals, which include accurately measuring the burden of infectious diseases in Nigeria, ensuring Nigeria is able to meet its international obligations as a member of the World Health Assembly, developing a public health laboratory service network to support the detection and prevention of and response to critical infectious diseases, reduce the adverse impact of predictable and unpredictable public health emergencies, create and efficiently manage an evidence-based organization with a clear focus of health promotions and disease prevention. As of April 14, 2020, Nigeria had 12 functional testing facilities in 8 states with the capacity to conduct a minimum of 1,500 tests per day in Lagos and 1,000 tests per day in the FCT Abuja and other states. As the epidemic intensifies, the NCDC will use a multi-phase approach to scale up testing to all 36 states. Nigeria needs to ramp up its testing capacity as neighboring countries like Ghana are achieving over 30,000 tests on COVID-19. In the economic phase, the Economic Sustainability Committee, chaired by Vice President Professor Yemi Osibanjo, continued its work as it assessed all the plans and recommendations that have been presented for sustainable development and long-term economic growth. It will be recalled that last week, Vice President Osibanjo met with President Muhammadu Buhari to give the briefing on the activities of the committee. Vice President Osibanjo, in an interview last week, said the committee will explore all avenues to alleviate the plight of daily wage workers in Nigeria. There has been a disturbing trend in the country with fire outbreaks. First, we heard of the fire outbreak at the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, and then the Corporate Affairs Commission, and just happening today, the Independent National Electoral Commission offices, all in Abuja. With the COVID-19-led lockdown, there is need for effective surveillance and monitoring of activities in critical institutions and regulatory offices in the country. This calls for a strategic management and mitigation of these recurring incidents in the Federal Capital Territory. We will continue to give you updates on strategic management and leadership processes in this period of the COVID-19 pandemic. And that will be all for this edition of our Chronomics Discuss. You can visit our website www.proshareng.com to get further updates from our market and economic reports. We'd also like you to join us for the evening live stream by 6 p.m. where we'll be looking at videos, tweets, experiences of Nigerians and people across the world as it concerns the human angle of COVID-19. We also in ProShare have for you a well-packaged report called the Corona Watch Central. Log on to proshareng.com/COVID-19 to get data and analysis of how the COVID-19 pandemic is impacting global markets, economy, including Nigeria. Till we come your way again, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and stay safe.